tell.
How is it going today? Lord, let's come on, Dwayne.
My name's Jasmine.
We're Dwayne and Jazz. Today we review The Quiet Place
Part
2.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. And it's also thank you to Cinemark
Yes.
for sending us there, and we had like a little private screening. It was like us,
a private Q&A.
Jasmine's family. It was a Q&A at the end of it. Shout out to J.J. Abrams and John Krasinski. Did I say that right?
I think
his
so.
name's so hard for me.
The dude from The Office.
You know Jim from The Office, yes, him. But yeah.
So-
Before we start the review, if you guys have any requests, please follow us on social medias in the link in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's dive on in.
We are here in front of Cinemark movie theaters. We are luckily getting an early screening
sir.
Quiet Place Part 2 because the first one was amazing. And we're waiting for our parents to come later on. So let's go in there.
Let's go in there.
2 hours later.
We just finished watching Quiet Place 2. How do you guys like? This is my family, by the way. My dad, my mom, and my brother. So how do y'all like it?
Excellent.
It was fantastic.
A lot of action.
It was better than the first one.
Way better. Yeah.
It was scary. My blood pressure was up the whole time. That was in theater, but it was so good. We were all on the edge of our seats. It was scarier than the first one.
But we liked it, and thank you, Cinemark, for sending us out here. And we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
And The Quiet Place 2.
Yeah, A Quiet Place Part 2.
Part 2. Well, I know. There's 2, Part 2. It was fire.
It was awesome. Okay, so if you haven't seen A Quiet Place like at all, go watch the first movie. Then watch the second one because it all ties in together very, very well.
Very well.
And it was the beginning scene.
The opening sequence was insane.
Yes.
It was crazy.
It was wild. Like this whole movie, I'm just sitting there thinking, like, I felt like a parent. Like, I legit felt like a parent, like, and I'm just, like, trying to figure out, like, how they're going to save all of these kids, okay? Because, like, to not make a sound, like, with certain things is, like, impossible. Almost.
Impossible. And it first started off with, like, they was at, like, when, it started off with Lee. He was going to the pharmacy store, getting some fruit apples, and then he hit the corner. It was his son's baseball game. And so he's at the son's baseball game. He's over there at bat, because they playing baseball. You just see this big asteroid.
Yep, and they're all stopped to look at it, and that's when the father was like, yep, we're going to get
everybody like, yep, time to go.
Everybody else left, and then after that, it was just chaos. It was just like they came out of nowhere and then just started swinging at people. Like,
boy, it was active.
It was so
scary and active. And they separated them, so it's like...
Yeah, so like mom has 2 of the kids and dad has the other one. And it's like you're just separated. And like as the mom is like trying to rush to get out of there because she was whipping that car. She whipped it. She left and then she passed the truck with the dad and everything. He was like, there's dad. She was like, where? Okay. And then she didn't even stop. She was like, look, we're going to meet him later, okay? So we got to go. And then that's when he saw the bus come in and then she had to whip it in reverse. Whole scene.
Man, hold on. When she was whipping in reverse, there was a monster creature coming out of it while she just... I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
And oh Lord, it's just you feel tense during the whole movie. Like I don't want to go through like what happened throughout the whole thing, but just know that you're gonna feel tense throughout the entire movie. I felt very proud of the children.
The children are MVPs in this movie.
They are the MVPs for sure.
Yep.
It was just so, I don't know, it felt like you were like there.
It's like, how you would feel like, man, how would I be in this situation? Like I constantly felt like that way.
Yeah.
There was a situation where, since if you haven't watched part 1, go watch part 1. And they had to move from where they were. They was no longer safe. So I'm guessing they had like, you had like a friend and he was like across the train track. He had traps all set up. There was a situation where the son got caught in a bear trap and he just like screaming and like I would be screaming too if I got caught by a bear trap. It's just like, yo.
He got caught when that leg got caught up. I was like, ah, like I legit was like, ah, like. And he was just screaming. I'm like, you know what? I'm not even mad at you for screaming right now. Like, let a monster come. Because look,
Yeah, no.
I got trapped up.
I wouldn't even be mad at you screaming.
That's why the mom wasn't mad. She was just covering his mouth, like, just shut up. Just
nah.
Because Lord.
And so, when we review movies, it's just like, man, we all over the place. But this movie was like, yo, like, it's just because they got 3 different arcs.
Yeah.
They got, mom has to go save the baby, so she has to, she has a baby.
Save her son.
Her son too, because he got caught in the bear trap, so she gotta get him medicine and alcohol, and that's a great callback to the pharmacy scene in the beginning. Then she also has to get what is that? The gas, oxygen for her for the baby, because the baby's gonna cry, and this is like an apocalypse,
and that's they can't make a sound, so they built like this little carrying box,
which is
the
ingenious,
and also had the oxygen tank there so that the baby could breathe without having to lose oxygen in that box, which is very, very smart.
Very smart.
And I'm just like picturing myself in the situation, like how am I gonna get through this with children? Because children don't listen all the time.
They do not listen all the time.
So it's just hard, But I definitely enjoyed going to an early screening. I felt so
home, right?
Yeah. Like things were like getting like theaters are opening up more now. Yeah. We still had our mask on and stuff.
Of course,
like
we still had our mask on because you got to make sure you got to stay safe.
Yeah.
We're fully vaccinated. Everybody has a different thing about vaccination, stuff like that. Just be safe, okay? Wear your mask if you're not vaccinated. If you're vaccinated, still wear your mask. Just be safe.
But still, shout out to Cinemark for sending us to this early screening and to see the Q&A. And I was so happy because at the end, it was a Q&A with J.J. Abrams moderating it, and then he read our question out loud. Like when they asked us to send questions, I thought they were just gonna just read them all. Yeah. But then they read like who said it.
We felt
and
very
so they was
excited.
Like, Dwayne and Jazz asked, and I was like,
I was like, yeah. And our question
and my dad was
right?
Well,
your family was
ooh. My dad was like, ooh.
Yo, what was the question?
Oh, it's basically I asked him, like if you were put in this situation like in real life, like would you do it the same way, like that you set it up in a movie, or would you do differently? And he basically said that he would die.
He would fold.
He was like, I will die because you have to not make a sound, and he makes sounds all the time, so he's just gonna die.
Yeah, exactly. And so we were all over the place, but basically 3 arcs. Had the mom, they met up with the best friend, and then they still, the monsters are ever present, because they hear any little sound.
They hear, oh my God. And
sound.
Then you think they got to a safe haven. You think they got to a safe haven, and then it starts up all over again. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And I love, I'm not going to say who it was, but there was a certain character who was looking at his son when that happened, and he gave him a look. He didn't even say anything.
You better stay in this area.
He put him in a certain area, and he looked at him. He said,
"Because it's active."
He heard all that screaming. He looked at him like, "Yeah."
You better not.
And then the son just looked at him like,
"Yeah."
And just stayed there. I was like, he had that connection. Like, you better not move. You better not make a sound. You better stay right here. Okay.
Yeah. So. And then they got the ending sequence. Well, I'm not going to spoil that ending sequence. We really don't want to spoil this for y'all because
it's tad spoilers.
It's tad spoilers.
But I'm not going to explain everything
at the
that
end
happened.
Sequence is you will love the ending. You'll love the movie. We loved it. I give it a 10 out of 10. It
was perfect.
It was better than the original to me.
It was better than the first one.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. It was good. It was a good experience.
The premise was good alone. How they did it was great. The opening sequence was great. How they progressed along, and from what they learned from the first time to this, it was just great, man.
The Q&A was cool. There was somebody. So when we were watching the Q&A, it's being live streamed from Cali, so it's like we can't hear anything.
We live in Maryland, right? We live in Maryland near DC, Washington DC. So
and so whenever they're asking a question, we can't hear the audience questions if they're being asked a question because they don't have a mic on them. So the times that we were waiting for them to finish their question, there was one dude or woman, I don't know who it was, but we couldn't see them. But they were complimenting him so much.
And yo!
I was just thinking yo, are we gonna get to a question? Because on our end, it's just looking like they're just like this,
Yeah. They're like,
thank you. Oh my God.
Really? Yeah.
He said, oh, a gift? I'm getting a gift? Okay, he said. And then it was running for so long, this one person, he said, okay, can we save that for after the Q&A? And then I could keep asking questions.
Right. So it was great, man. We wish we could have recorded it for y'all,
I
but
wish I could have recorded that
it's
section,
okay.
but
Yeah, you couldn't.
But
Shout out to Cinemark once again for the experience. Food was great. Reclining chairs, smelling the popcorn.
Oh.
Again, we love going to the movie.
And shout out to the loyalists that was there in the food section.
Yeah,
because there was no pieces there, and then we asked her for some pizza. She's like, "Oh, y'all was Dwayne and Jasmine."
herself.
I was like, "Well, I love you," and she gave us some nice pizzas.
Thanks. So thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was our Quiet Place 2 review. We want to really, the movie hasn't came out, so we really want to leave little spoilers here and there for the people that want to watch and come back. But yeah, that's it. Anyway, guys, comment below. Let us know what you think.
Don't forget to like and share.